The streets of Tulsa, Oklahoma have a certain nostalgia hanging in the air. Route 66 cuts right through the town. Its flashing neon signs and classic dives feel like a window into America's past.
Tulsa, Oklahoma has been my home. I was born here. It's a great place to be. It's just big enough to have everything you want and just small enough to be kind of like the Mayberry, you know, that you go downtown and get a bottle of pop kind of stuff.
Paul Griffith is a service technician for Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, which means he works hands-on tending to vending machines and soda fountains across the city.
If it has Coca-Cola on it and it's responsible for selling a product, I'll be the one that goes out. Mr. Murphy over here at Hanks Hamburgers calls and he says, I need my unit bricksed. You say, what's a bricks? Okay, that means we're going to ratio his syrup to water, make sure that the balance of what's coming out of his fountain tastes just right. Okay, so I'm in charge of that.
Hanks Hamburgers is a local treasure. Old photos, newspaper clippings, and vintage signs line the walls, hinting at long storied memories.
Thank you.
No problem.
A sign out front touts Tulsa's best burgers and malts.
If you would have told me that, you know, I would fall into a hamburger stand, so to speak, I probably would have told you you're a little bit crazy. But the bottom line is it's been a great experience.
Steve Murphy was working as a service delivery manager for Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages when the current owner of Hanks approached him with an offer he couldn't refuse.
And so one day he just came and asked me if, well, he told me he was going to retire at the end of 2020, and he asked me if I was interested in taking it over one Sunday morning at church, and thought about it for about 30 seconds, and I said, you betcha, I'll be glad to take it over. So the next day after I finished with Coca-Cola Southwest, I was in here learning how to cook the burgers.
Steve's years of working for CCSWB prepared him well for taking over Hanks. He got to learn about the business from a different perspective and made important connections along the way.
What can we get for you today?
What's your best seller?
We have a double beet special. It comes with your side item, a choice of fries, tots, or okra, and a 20-ounce drink.
It was a blessing to my life, to my family. A lot of what I've learned is particularly with Southwest Beverages was the customer relations aspect of it. Wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest with you. I love my time with Coca-Cola and Southwest Beverages. Miss it to this day. I miss the camaraderie of working with some of the guys. And having Paul come out here and work on our machine just gives me a sense of comfort. I don't even have to be out here to see what's going on. I just know the guys are coming in here and taking care of whatever needs to be taken care of, and don't even give it a second thought. Paul, thanks so much. We appreciate it, man. Everything looks good, man.
Okay, brother, thank you. Appreciate you.
See you down the road, man.
See you next time.
When Paul isn't working on soda fountains, he's getting his hands dirty with a different kind of machine.
In 1993, I bought an old 55 Chevrolet pickup, and it was not running, and I towed it home, and I've been working on it ever since. When I was about 15, I saw one of these pickups just like this, and I wanted it. And of course, a 15-year-old boy don't have a lot of money in his pocket, so I had like $300, and he wanted $500 for it. So I said, would you take $300? But I didn't get that truck. So all my life I've been kind of thinking, I really like that model, and I'm going to get one of those. So that's kind of what led me towards that model.
It's been over 30 years since Paul bought his Chevy, and since then, he put countless hours into fixing her up.
I started off with the front end, took out the leaf spring front end and transmission, a 700R4 transmission, 4-speed transmission, which it formerly had a 3-speed. It all the way down, took the cab off of the frame, sent it out to the sandblaster and redid the frame. The engine It was a 350 Chevy. Converted that over to a fuel injection system, a Howell fuel injection system. Now it runs like a dream, starts like a dream. And I could probably talk about cars for an hour.
Today, Paul is competing with his beloved Chevy in the Darrell Starbird National Rod and Custom Car Show. Although there's a lot of prize money on the line, Paul isn't just in it for the trophies.
Now I'm really just in it for enjoying the show. Just spending Saturday sitting out at the show. You're out in the garage by yourself hours and hours, you know. It's good for somebody to appreciate and see what you've done. And a lot of people know what you've done, and they'll look and say, wow, you have that. And how did you do that? Where did you get those? When I'm at the show and someone comes by and they make a gesture, it validates what I've done and all the hard work.
In the long run, it may have been cheaper and easier for Paul to buy a car that was already up and running. But taking something old, fixing it up, and putting your own spin on it is part of the fun for people like Paul and Steve.
We're kind of an iconic location because we're on the historic Route 66, and there's a big push to restore a lot of these old places. I mean, this place has been here for 70-some years. It was very successful. Don't fix what's not broke.
Long before he took over at Hanks Hamburgers or was working sales at Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, Steve was struggling with his own personal challenges, including homelessness. Since finding his way in life, he works hard to offer jobs and support to people in similar positions.
How God has blessed me not only with a great career with Coca-Cola Southwest, and also the opportunity to actually come into this restaurant business and do something that I've always dreamed of doing. And with that, being able to help those type of people that actually I was one of them at one time. So that's kind of where my heart comes from. I really wanted to be a part of the community that not only serves the people hamburgers, but actually provides opportunities for people that have stuff like felonies and drug addictions in their past, be able to have a job and establish themselves in the community.
Hanks Hamburgers and the Chevy are still works in progress. Paul and Steve continue to tweak and improve their passion projects, and it's likely that their work will never be finished.
Never done. They say never done, okay? And there's several things that I still want to tweak. It does make me happy. And, I feel like, you know, the truck and I are on a parallel course, okay? I have a kind of a story, both of us. We're both getting better, okay? You know, God's not quite through with me yet, and I'm not quite through with it yet, you know? So in that, I think if God's as pleased with me as I am with that truck, we're doing okay.